Okay,
Good
we're
morning,
good.
everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 258. 258. Good morning, Michael. How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm living the dream today. I'm just so happy to be here.
You got some little computer issues going on this morning. Get everything all caught up. Everything is okay.
Yep, everything's all right.
All right. Because you have this look on your face like you're holding a shit, and it really
Nah, I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
All right. Are you tired?
I'm tired. Yeah. Long week.
You got
Long,
you got your coffee?
long week.
Did you have coffee?
Nah, I'm good.
I got my eye on you. But we are back, everybody. This is episode 258 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say good morning to everybody. Michael, we have Derpy in the house. What's up, Big Derp?
What's up? What's up?
Not too much. Guys, we have a lot. we have a lot going on today.
A lot of news.
A lot of news. So we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into it here. Just give me 1 second. Mark this. And first, I do want to start off the day by saying Benino. Nick Benino is on his way back to the Pittsburgh Penguins, everybody. He's been acquired by the San Jose Sharks as of this morning. And Bones is coming back to help the Pens make a little bit of a push, get this final stretch of the season, maybe get us into the playoffs and a little help. Mike, maybe, just maybe, we could bring back the rest of the HBK line, huh?
You know what? Let's just make the oldest team in the league older. This is a farce. This is a joke. We gave up a 5th round pick and a 7th round pick this year to acquire Benino. And then what did we give up the other day? We gave up a 2nd round pick this year to give up to acquire Gronlund. But you could have traded those all to get Churchin from Phoenix. This is ridiculous. This team, and it's sad that adding a 34-year-old Benino actually makes the 4th line better. It should make the 4th line worse by adding him. This is how bad this team has been constructed, and they're going to win a few games here down the stretch. People are going to think, "Oh my God, this is what this team needed. We got Benino back. And they're going to flame out in the first round because this team was old as fuck. This defense is terrible. Goalie situation has not improved. They are slow. This is a farce, and this is a joke. And I can't wait to see them get bounced in the first round again. And I'm going to enjoy it because this is what this team deserves. This is what they deserve. I hope they flame out. But hey, good news. The Penguins are 8-0 in playoff series when Nick Benino plays. So we got that going for us. We're riding. We need a 34-year-old 4th line center to come in and make this team a playoff team and to hopefully resurrect Jeff Carter's career. This is a farce. This is a joke.
Well, we do. Besides Mike's terrible demeanor this morning, we are on a 4-game winning streak. This team has just won 4 games since we called out Ron Hextall at the game against the Edmonton Oilers. Mike, this team had swept the Eastern Conference champions now by beating them 7-3 last week, and then by beating them in overtime last night 5-4 in a pretty damn good game, I have to say. I did sit down, watch the whole game, Mike. We did get the win. We 4 in a row. The Zucker got the overtime goal.
Yes,
wins the games. He now has a goal in 3 straight games, and also another notable.
Won't be able to re-sign him. We have no cap space.
And another notable scorer last night, Mike, was Petrie. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Petrie Dish.
He had scored the 2 quickest goals in a Penguin game since Marty Strutka did it back in 2000. I'm not real sure the timing on it, Mike, but it was bang.
Go back, add 5 seconds to this guy's goals because no one trumps Marty Strutka. Not on my watch.
Granlund did play last night. It was a short trip. He was already in Florida. His team was playing in Florida, and he was able to play. He is the first number 64 in the history of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We never had a number 64.
Hey, you know what? And that might be the only Penguins history he makes.
I
am just in a shit mood.
And they also, Mike, after this win, they finish up the road trip tomorrow. They go over to play the Florida Panthers before they come back home. So, I mean, we have an opportunity here, Mike. I mean, and the Florida Panthers are good. Don't get me wrong. This team is 30, 27-6, where the Penguins are 31, 21 and 9. So this game tomorrow, Mike, it's a big game in a sense. I mean,
It is.
Well, here it comes back to what we were saying and what I generally stick to when it comes to the Pittsburgh Penguins. This team is always streaky. It just seems like you're either winning 5 in a row or losing 5 in a row. It never seems to be a happy medium. Right now, we are lucky because we are in the midst of the winning streak. And like I said, we have opportunity tomorrow at 6:00 p.m. to stretch that to 5, Mike. The 5 games in a row, we just looked like we were down and out, free falling. Ronnie Hextall makes a couple goober moves, and all of a sudden we're back in this thing.
Who knew you just, you needed to add a 31-year-old center / left winger and a 34-year-old center and, get rid of underproducing players for this team to actually, do something for a change. We still can't fill a whole roster. And, we have 21 out of 23 roster spots accounted for. What happens when we lose a forward? We're going to have to play a defenseman. What happens if we lose 2 defensemen? We have no one. Do
they do that, Mike? Would they put like a defenseman on the?
They would have to to get they would have to do something and dress 8 defensemen and 11 forwards or whatever it would be, however I'm sorry, 6 and 11. I'm flummoxed by this team. I'm happy they're winning. But by what this front office is doing, like my anger is not directed at the players. They're doing what they can. But it's at the front office. Well, what are they doing? What's this ownership doing? Ever since they bought the Penguins, this ownership group, man, they're watching Liverpool crash and burn. They're watching the Penguins crash and burn. They're watching the Red Sox crash and burn. They just don't care. And the GM here, he's probably thinking, no one's watching me. I don't have to do anything. He's like, I'm safe. My job's safe. I'm just gonna make a couple moves here and there, bring back an old guy to make the fans happy, and boom, there we go. And people are loving it. People are loving bringing back Bonino. Now, Bonino, he's still a quasi effective player. He, put him on the third or fourth line. I wouldn't be, buying him centering those, being out on the penalty kill, helping with draws. But he's not the guy. He's not the guy who was out there killing the 3-man or being down 5-on-3 against Nashville to help win the second cup. We're not getting that guy back. We're getting an older version of him. But if he can still be effective, okay. But when your bottom centers right now are Jeff Carter and Nick Bonino, 6 years ago, I'm tap dancing through the streets. Now I want to go put my head through a freaking wall.
I got 5 on it if you do it on the show.
I wouldn't be happy Bonino's back. I always liked him as a player. I liked him when he left. He was still productive, but I just
looking at expectations for the rest of the season from these trades, I think they're making one final push, but then they're probably gonna, blow it up.
Yeah, I mean the deadline is today.
They're gonna have to blow it up next season because they have no money to resign anyone. And if
from
this
expectations,
was the final push, if this was a final push to get to a cup run this year, it's one of the worst final pushes I've ever seen.
Listen,
it's just like the Germany pushing into the into the Ardennes, trying on their final push. We know how that happened.
And here's the thing: I don't think anybody expects the Pittsburgh Penguins to win the Stanley Cup this year. Anybody?
No one. Yeah, no one.
And by adding Bonino, I think you're right, Mike. I think it is that he borrowed a page out of Bob Nothing's book and decided to create a PR situation that's going to keep people from demanding that he be fired. And any of these moves over the past few days, nothing leads me to think that this is going to make the team anywhere better, let alone getting out of the first round of the playoffs. I just think
I don't even think they're going to even get a spot in the playoffs.
I think
right
they're
now
going to get it. They moved up another spot.
They took over number 1 in the wild card. They're starting to gain a little bit of ground against some of the other teams. They have 71. Islanders are at 70, but after that, it's Buffalo, Ottawa, Florida, all at 66, along with the Capitals. So they have.
How old is Crosby again?
They have breathing room there for the wild
He was
card
born in
spot.
87, so however old that is.
Oh, he's old. He's 30. He's old. He's
35.
35. Okay, look, centers. Here's our age of our centers. Nick Bonino, 34. Jeff Carter, 38. Sid, 35. Granlund, 31. Malkin, 36. Ryan Folling, who's battling an injury.
Yeah, that's bad.
He's 24. He's 24. It's
there we go. There's a young guy. There we go.
Yeah, he's young. Drew O'Connor, who should be playing more, he's 24. And we got POJ, who's 23. Yeah. And Marcus Peterson, 26. They don't have the
speed. And
weren't we the oldest team to begin with?
Yeah.
We just added more.
Decided upon it.
Yeah. It makes no sense whatsoever.
I got to say, of all the times, Mike, that you laughed at my misery and my madness on the show, I cannot say that I'm not enjoying it. Going back in the other favor, I'm enjoying this. Please continue.
This guy, a clueless GM.
That's being nice. Come on, that's being nice.
The freaking moron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, unless there's some big blockbuster trade that he's waiting to execute at the deadline, this team's going nowhere. Bounced out again in the first round. Maybe this team will be a little more competitive. Maybe we'll play 7 games.
What time does the deadline go up, Mike? Is it 4 today?
Oh my goodness, I can't remember. 3,
Probably
4 somewhere.
usually.
Yeah, it's usually around one of those times. 3 p.m.
So there you go, everybody. He can still save the day in Pittsburgh. Ron Hextall could be a hero by the end of this day. As much heat
more
as
like a clown
him this morning.
I don't even know. Hold on, I want to take a look at.
Instead of having his head on a platter, we could be carrying him on our shoulders by the end of the day, for all we know. So there you have it, everybody. Mike is not. Mike is not thrilled with Bonino.
It's not him. It's just
it's the move. You're right. It's crazy. I'm excited to see him back. I don't think that these moves, again, as I said, are going to be anything just to the Stanley Cup, let alone out of the first round. I do think that the Penguins will sneak in. It's very hard to miss the playoffs in hockey, especially if you are a top franchise. It's very tough. And, I think the Penguins will land. But once you play a high tier team and it's going to be very difficult not to get bounced. It's really going to be difficult, Derpy, that this team does not get bounced out of the first round.
No. They'll get bounced out of the first round.
They are. They're going to.
They're too old. They're too old.
They are.
They have no speed whatsoever. They do not.
This team is a joke. The roster construction.
Mike, do you have anything else nice that you'd like to say about the Penguins before we move on? Maybe adding Kessel and Hagelin.
Sure, why not? Let's just bring back everyone back. Yeah,
bring that HBK line back, and
bring back all the old guys. Let's bring back Trevor Daley. Let's dig up his corpse.
Yes, Trevor Daley.
Why not?
Get Fleury back. I'm just joking.
No, he's not.
He's gone. He's gone. I was just joking though.
Oh, I would have taken him last year.
This team, as much as we complain, I think a lot of it's going to come down to goaltending with us. And, granted, this team isn't going to light up the board all the time.
And power play.
But you know what? It's going to go as far as Tristan Jarry takes us in the whole scheme of things. When he's good, he's good. When he's, we win a lot of games when he's playing well. And, his issue is his injuries a lot of times, and we're stuck with the Smith and other issues like that. But moving forward, I think that Jarry is such a big piece of this team. However, like Mike had stated, there's not a lot of good things that are happening to generate goals, to keep the area in front of him cleared up, things like this. So, those are going to be issues that are going to haunt us along the way.
Yeah, when we're giving up odd man rushes right off the bat in the breakaway. And I'm sorry, Sullivan needs to figure out a new system, because his whole philosophy is, it's not working. Guess what? I guess we got to skate faster. Well, your team's slow as fuck, so skating faster is not working.
Your whole team is older than you are. How fast do you expect these guys to skate?
They don't have to trap like the Devils of the 90s, but you can put it in a trapping system to where it's still an aggressive trap. But God forbid the players actually do that. I'm sorry if Lemieux can trap to win a Stanley Cup. Crosby and Malkin can trap to win a fucking Stanley Cup. Maybe even to get out of the first fucking round again. Oh,
here's the question moving forward: Do you keep some of the three and somewhat blow it up the entirety, or do you blow it up entirely?
You can't blow it up. They're locked in. They have no movement clause. You cannot trade Crosby, Malkin, Letang. You're stuck with Jeff Carter. He has a no movement clause. Yeah, they're stuck with the big three.
I mean, ultimately,
they only account for $20 million at the salary cap out of $83 million. You should be able to, afford a whole fucking squad of players, not just 21 players. When you're big three, when your three Hall of Famers are only counting $21 million,
their future is.
I don't care about the futures now. They need to win now, and they can't even do that. Oh, boys, I am fired up. I am heated.
Anything else, Mike? I'm not rushing you. We have a lot. We have a lot going on today.
Fire Ron Hextall.
Fire Ron Hextall. Okay.
Yeah, fire him into the sun.
Fire who?
Fire the clown.
Fire the clown. Fire him into the sun.
Fire him into the sun. There you go. Coverage you only get here on the Two Dumb Yinzers. We're firing Ron Hextall into the sun.
Like he's so clueless.
Make him waddle where he came back from.
Yeah.
Hey, like a penguin.
Yeah, waddle your ass across the state. Derps, anything on the Pens before I switch over, my man?
First round exit, here we come.
All right, there you have it.
Derpy knows what.
Derpy knows what's up. We got a lot of football guys, so I am going to cut some of the other things out real quick before we get started on the pigskin today. Everybody, of course, there's a huge basketball game for the Pitt Panthers tomorrow. They travel to Miami, number 25 Pitt, to take on number 16 Miami for the ACC title. This game tomorrow, I believe it's 6 or 7 o'clock. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but that game is a huge game. If you're a Pitt fan, it's going to be the biggest one of the season. They have an opportunity to win the ACC regular season title. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates lose. They had a split squad yesterday. They played the Yankees, and they also played the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees beat the Pirates 9-1, and the Blue Jays and Pirates tied 2-2. Today, the Pirates played the Baltimore Orioles at 6:05 in spring training. We got mad football, everybody. We got Steelers. We got Combine. We got the XFL. But what I'm going to do, Mike, we have a new personality on the show. I think everybody recognized this week. I'm going to give today, because he's worked his ass off. And let me tell you something about Derpy. Derpy not only works his ass off, but this guy knows his shit. Through the course of the day, I could receive text messages about, a certain person in the combine, about a certain time, this guy's on top of it. And I want to give it back to Derp for all of his hard work and his effort. And we're going to give him the mic, because Derpy wants to tell us, Mike, we want to learn a little bit about Derpy, but Derpy also wants to tell us how he became a Steeler fan. Now, here's the thing about Derpy. Derpy lives right across the border in Ohio, but that doesn't mean he's not a Yinzer. Derpy the Yinzer has a story that he's been talking to me. He wants to tell us, and he wants to tell us. And just for everybody that wants to know, Derpy still does not believe in Santa Claus. And we're not like the Chinese having Derpy work from the basement mad hours. This is not the case. He is a 25-year-old man. And Derpy wanted to come on and tell us about his budding love for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the genesis, if you will, for the great team that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Derpy, the mic is all yours.
Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, my man. So you one day back in 2001, 2002, 2003 had a revelation of sort.
Well, basically, I was like 5 or 6 at that time, like 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Well, the real core of the story is actually from my father. When he was a kid, he'd go over go over to his friend's house to watch the Pittsburgh Steelers when he was younger, because his friend liked the Steelers.
Okay. Now your dad is not a Steeler fan, correct?
No, he is a Steelers fan.
Oh, he's a Steeler fan?
Yeah,
okay.
and the mom, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. The downside is my mom was a Browns fan.
Ooh.
And you don't think I would be crazy enough to choose the Browns.
Yeah. That's one thing to have a mom that that cheats on your dad. It's one to have a mom that's a drunk, but to have a mom that's a Browns fan, this is a whole new uncharted. Please tell us more. We're all ears, Derby.
so my pain. So between my my family. So, but I chose my father because obviously he knew more about sports.
All right.
And obviously my mom, he had more passion for it.
It's understandable.
But when I was younger, I that 2002 and 2003, all I remember is that Tommy Maddox was the quarterback. I think Burris was there, Antoine Randall, and I believe Ward was young at the time. A lot of guys from like the Super Bowl runs were really young or potentially in their second or rookie year.
Yeah. Yep.
Looking at it now, from what our franchise is, there are a lot of fans that are like, I guess you could say, fair weather.
Of course.
And obviously, I've been loyal to the Pittsburgh Steelers for like 20 years.
I like it.
See, do you want me to go around the years of that time period?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. In certain careers.
Sure.
See, at the time, Ward was my favorite player. But then, actually, no, take it back. Bettis was my fault.
I'm gonna say the bus better be up there.
Yeah, the bus was obviously my favorite because he actually dealt with some things similar, well, at least health problems similar to mine. And you know what I'm talking.
The asthma.
The asthma, yes.
Okay.
And when he dealt with it, that actually basically, that's why he was my favorite player.
Okay.
But obviously in that 2003 season, they had a great run with the Browns, of course, like against the Browns. They had a playoff win against the Browns.
Yes, we beat them 3 times that season.
Yes, and then I'm not too familiar after that game. I'm not sure who we played that year after.
We played Tennessee in a game where the guy missed the field goal. Dwayne Washington runs into the kicker. They get an opportunity to kick it again, and they win. They win.
Yes,
on that Tennessee.
That's right.
He flopped.
Oh, it was a big time flop.
And then all I know is that was the year we, got the iconic, Big Ben.
I remember the day.
The franchise tag, I guess, per se. I remember Maddox getting hurt that year and then Ben taking over. And then obviously, you know how well of a career he had.
Yeah, he was all right.
He was all right. Yeah, he was
all right.
He was nobody. Yeah.
He doesn't have more championships than Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees.
And that's another thing. That's actually another thing I wanted to talk. I think the most overrated quarterback the last 10 years is Aaron Rodgers. Regardless of how good he is in the league in regular season.
He's good. No two ways about it. He's really good, but he
hasn't done anything since then.
I agree with you, Derp. He hasn't done anything since he's won that Super Bowl. He's been a good quarterback. He gets his yards.
He's had some amazing comeback victories in the playoffs and some of those games that they should have lost. That year we had back-to-back Hail Mary touchdown passes. You can't discount that. He had something special going on there, but the team around him at the time wasn't that good. But the order he gets, like, he was blaming the team around him. Like, if you're really you had some good weapons there. He should have won more. He should have at least won more Super Bowl
seasons with him. They put him in your face a lot, and especially with commercials also. And it's a lot of Aaron Rodgers. I've been pretty underwhelmed with him, to be honest. And don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback, and he's going to go down as one of the best. But like I said, he hasn't blown me away in 10 years. As Mike is saying, there's been instances where, Yeah, but again, he's a really good quarterback. So
yeah, he's one of the best regular season quarterbacks out there.
See, there's a difference.
Yeah. Oh, I know. That's why I phrased it that way. I think in the regular season he's good. He's good, but when it gets in that playoffs, man, deeper into the playoff he gets, he's just I don't know. Yeah, he just doesn't impress that much.
But back to 2005. Let's go to 2005 because that was the year we won the big game.
This is like watching childhood VHS tapes. Like, do you remember doing that when we were kids?
Yeah.
Like we're going through the years. We're on 2005 now.
I meant just particular years, 2005. The other Super Bowl runs.
This is when Derpy watches the Super Bowl.
Hey man, that was my first Super Bowl I got to watch from my
me too.
team won.
Well,
so,
right.
That's still my favorite Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Not mine. No.
Did you
because of Bettis?
Well, you know what? I got 09 was really okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. This is your time.
because of Bettis.
Yeah. Who almost choked it away in the championship game. Almost choked it away. Well, if it wasn't for Big Ben, he would have been Bill Buckner.
You have the tackle. And the tackle, right?
Yes.
You have the tackle to stop off the field goal, right?
Yeah, it was the no, it was the Bettis fumbled and then
the Bettis fumble.
And the shoelace tackle.
Yeah.
They tried running it back.
Well, would that have been shitty? Wow, if he would have took that all the way, that would have been a dagger. Because like Mike said, being in our early 40s, at this time, this was the first Super Bowl win that we got as well. We were just after the Super Bowl teams of the 70s, and the team in 95 loses.
And
I don't know what I would have did.
The teams of the 80s were
they're pathetic.
We don't want to talk about those.
And that would have just been a dagger in the heart of the city of Pittsburgh if that guy, I can't even think who it is, would have taken that and ran it all the way back for a touchdown and won that football game. And you know what? It would have been expected because the Indianapolis Colts were heavily favored over us that year.
Honestly, my favorite game of all with that run was actually the Bengals game.
Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Everyone was picking the Bengals.
Yes.
Instead of us. Everyone. I mean, everyone thought the Bengals were going to wipe the floor against us.
Every game we were supposed to lose the next week too, and then the next week, and in the next week, everyone was saying, it was Ben won't be able to do it. Ben won't be able to do it. He's not going to be able to compare with all these people. And he beat Carson Palmer, then
Peyton Manning in the second round. And then the Denver Broncos, which was the number one seed.
Was it Jake Plummer that year when he was supposed to be?
Which was the number one seed.
Yeah, the number one seed.
Remember in that game, actually, Palmer got hurt, I believe.
He did.
He did. Kimo von Oelhoffen.
Kimo rolled it on his leg.
Kimo fell into him. Kimo got pushed into him.
Was the best play ever that I've ever seen in my whole life. We'll just call it that. Yep. Because if Carson Palmer stays in that game, it was a different game. We win that game 34-17, if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head. But like I said, if Carson Palmer stays in, that was their first offensive play of the game. He goes down, leg done.
Was it the first play of the game? It was
their first offensive play of the game.
Oh, okay.
We got the ball first. They got it, and he rolled on his leg.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do to win, baby.
And then Seattle was also the number one seed from the NFC. So we took out 3-2-1 and then went to the Super Bowl and won against one. So go ahead, Derpy. I'm sorry.
That's just my favorite Super Bowl run, I guess.
Okay.
But let's probably head to the next one, which is Tomlin's first Super Bowl, I believe. Yes. Was 2009, right? 2009? Or is it 2008?
It was the 8th season.
No, 2010. My bad. 2010.
It was 2008 season, 09 February
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Okay. So that game right there, obviously, I think that run right there wasn't very much memorable because I think we blew out everybody on our way there.
And we beat the Jets, the Ravens. I think the Ravens was the
Ravens game was a good one.
Yeah. And then the Chargers.
That was the Palomalu, right? The Palomalu interception.
Yeah, that's Palomalu one. And then that Chargers game was the one where in the second half, like we had that killer 8-minute drive.
Yeah.
That just totally took the sails out of the Chargers.
And then
I finally remember something.
No, that Super Bowl game though is mostly memorable because of two things. And you know those two things by heart.
Absolutely.
Can you name them, fellas?
The interception and the catch.
The greatest catch in Super Bowl history.
Yes.
And the greatest interception return in Super Bowl history.
The longest play in NFL history.
Honestly, I told my father this year, I actually had vibes from that game to this previous Super Bowl. And obviously you saw how it turned out besides the penalty.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
I had strong feeling that it was going to be, and it obviously did.
Can I tell you, every time the Steelers make it to the Super Bowl, they break some kind of record. Willie Parker with the longest run ever in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
James Harrison with the longest interception return.
See, nobody's going to remember Willie Parker.
No.
Nobody, new fans would never, ever even know who Willie Parker
No, and the thing is, I see Mike making faces. I know
I
know what his argument's going to be, but I agree. At the end of the day, 20 years from now, when people are talking Super Bowls, they're going to say, hey, remember when Willie Parker?
Yeah, because that was the key turning point of the game.
I think people in Pittsburgh will. I just don't think that anybody else will.
The biggest bust I will say in previous years I believe his name was Liam. Or I believe it came out of, I know it started with an L. It's, hold on. Give me a second.
Derpy sounded like me scrambling to find the info that was there, then lost.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
No, you're good, bro.
I'm enjoying the stroll down memory lane. I really am.
That fast Willie run, though, my God, that's still one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl history.
I agree. I couldn't agree more.
Because it was a game change. It's the longest.
He's just such a non-memorable name in the big.
Fast Willie Parker. People know.
Again, for Pittsburgh, he's a very memorable name.
But
anybody outside of the 4-1-2,
people who know undrafted rookie free agent
success
stories.
There you go. People who are experts in undrafted rookie free agents.
No, there's still people around the league, like when people are like, oh, he's undrafted, and they go, yeah, look at Willie Parker, look at James Harrison, look at Kurt Warner. He's mentioned up there in the Immortals. Do not slander fast Willie Parker.
I think that
Swede
Limas Swede.
Limas, that was the draft class we got. Mendenhall, Limas, Swede, and the quarterback out of Bowling Green. That was supposed to be the three that were going to set us up for the future.
Boy, was it a bust.
He was the biggest bust of them all.
My man was battling depression before people knew what it was and socially acceptable to talk about. So I'm a Limas Swede supporter.
I tell you what, go ahead and round this out. Round it
all
out.
All right. We'll go to 2000. We'll go to the last Super Bowl he was at.
Okay.
Oh.
The one no one wants to talk about.
I want to talk about
not much to talk about, but you know how disappointing that loss was.
Yes, of course he's talking about the 31-25 loss to the Green Bay Packers in Dallas.
I got rants for days on this Super Bowl.
Regardless who you blame, I still blame Mendenhall.
Polamalu
too, because he didn't perform how he was supposed to be.
What could cover a tight end in that Super Bowl? No one. He ran free the whole game long, and people want to blame Mendenhall because what
was his name? What was that tight end?
I can't remember, but in Pittsburgh, you cannot blame the defense, and you cannot blame Troy.
It wasn't Tremura, was it? Tremura was gone already. What was it?
I can't remember who it was, but he just destroyed us right up the middle. Ryan Clark and the middle linebackers and Polamalu could not cover him. He was wide open. All I remember is every time that guy caught a first down pass, this is all I see from Troy. Like, that wasn't going to help you cover him. I'm still heated.
There you have it, everybody.
I always had a relationship end because of that Super Bowl, because I told my girlfriend at the time, no Super Bowl party at the apartment. Okay, because I know how I'm going to act. And this is how I acted then. And it's bringing back emotions.
Well, my point at the end of the day is that I've been loyal to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it just stinks that we haven't been to a Super Bowl in a while. But I will stay loyal to them no matter what.
Fuck yeah, Derpy.
That's why we like that's why we love Derpy. Here at the Two Dumb Yinzers.
Nah, he got my blood pressure up. Ron Hextall got my blood pressure up. Yeah, I think everyone's trying to kill me.
There you have it. Mike has another nervous breakdown on the show, but we must move on, everybody.
Combine.
Yeah.
You know
what I'm going to do, though?
Oh, no, he's going to change it up on us.
I'm gonna knock down the schedule for the XFL for the weekend. That way we can stay NFL.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Throughout the duration here. Okay, guys. The XFL big game. This is week 3 coming up. There are one game. There's one game tomorrow and 3 games on Sunday. Tomorrow, the Seattle Sea Dragons travel to Vegas to play Rod Woodson's Vipers. Both teams are 0-2. Both teams looking for their first victory of this XFL season. That game is at 7 p.m. tomorrow on FX. On Sunday, the St. Louis Battlehawks travel to DC to play the Defenders. Now, the thing about this game, Mike, they're both undefeated.
Yeah,
they're both 2-0. So you have the 2-0 St. Louis team, the 2-0 DC team, and that's the first game of the day on Sunday, and that is also on FX.
That's going to be a good game.
You know what? That game, okay, hear me out. The next one is going to be the one that I'm not really, you'll see on the last game. The next game is the third game of the weekend, which is the second game Sunday. The Orlando Guardians travel to Arlington to play the Renegades. Now the Guardians are 0-2 and the Renegades are 1-1. 2 struggling teams in this early XFL season. That game's at 4:00 Sunday, also FX. And this one, guys, is the one that I'm looking forward to. I think this is going to be possibly the best game of the weekend, even though the two other games in the St. Louis and DC are both 2-0. Now the Houston Roughnecks, this team, Mike, is the one that I always talk about, just saying that they look like they have it together the most out of these 8 teams, and they really do. They're able to do things at will and just really control the game. They're 2-0, but who's coming to town? Hines Ward, San Antonio Brahmas, who looked pretty damn good last week. Mike, you and I were.
That's the team I'm supporting.
I am too. I love the colors, of course. And like I said, Mike and I watched this game. We were pretty impressed with what we were able, what Hines' team was able to do. They are sitting at 1-1, but this game, mark my words, will be the marquee game of the weekend. Again, that's 1-1 San Antonio Brahmas at the 2-0 Houston Roughnecks. That game is at 8:00 on Sunday, and that's over on ESPN2. A lot of times what I do, if you go to one or the other, you go to FX or ESPN2, and it's not there, just go to the other.
Yeah.
And that's usually where you'll find them. But that is everybody, the XFL. So there's a lot of things going on this weekend, guys. You have the big pit game for the ACC regular season championship. You have week 3 of the XFL. You have the Penguins back in action tomorrow against Florida, finishing up their road trip, who are on a 4-0, 4-game winning streak.
It's appropriate there in Florida because they are close to retirement age.
There you go. They get them golf clubs out.
They're going to need them here soon.
And also the Pirates, they do play today at 6:05 against the Orioles, which we already talked about. Guys, now what everybody wants to talk about today, especially Derpy. I know this because, like I said, Derpy is on top of everything, man. Mike, he's on top of everything.
He's on top of it, baby.
He's on top of it. I want to cover some notes first. We'll get Derpy involved here real soon. The Combine is today at 3:00 again. However, if you want to watch it over the weekends, it has a 1:00 start time on Saturday and a 1:00 start time on Sunday. Today's Combine, guys, is defensive backs, kickers, and special team players.
That's going to be interesting.
It is going to be,
especially the defensive backs.
We also have D-line and linebackers doing the bench press.
D-line and linebackers doing the bench press. As far as the DBs, kickers, and special teams players go, we do have one guy participating. And, of course, that is Hill, if I'm not mistaken, Brandon Hill. Yes, Brandon Hill, the safety. He will be participating today. And also, like Mike says, you do have the defensive linemen and the linebackers. Yesterday, there was big news if you're a Pitt fan.
Oh, real quick, can I interject?
Yeah.
In the defensive back list today, don't forget Joey Porter Jr. from Penn State, Jair Brown from Penn State.
If they went to Pitt, these would be that'd be a great
I'm sorry. Yeah, the arguably the number 1 corner and a top safety in the draft that are going to be there. But also look out, man.
Not understanding these. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
We were talking about Pitt for this exact moment, but
I'm a Penn State fan. I'm a Penn State fan.
I got to Penn State.
No. I got.
I'm interested on Phillips.
No. I'm not allowed to talk about Penn State players.
Oh, here we go.
Nope.
Mike has.
I ruined the segue. And I'm proud of it
today. I think it's very obvious, everyone.
It's Friday. I'm punchy. Like I thought yesterday was Friday.
Everybody,
I thought yesterday was Friday.
The eggshells are out. Walk on them because
I thought yesterday was Friday. So I had my studio all torn down. I had my studio all torn down, and I had to put it back together.
So just bear with him.
I'm just going to keep talking over. You want to keep talking over?
And we could continue with the show.
No. I'm just going to drag it to a standstill.
If Mike would,
if Ryan would,
go ahead, Mike. Continue,
go ahead, Ryan.
Please.
No, continue.
I thought you were going somewhere. I didn't know that you were.
I started
just an interjection that had nothing to do with anything. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
I was just letting it.
So the big news, of course, in the combine yesterday, somebody ran faster than anybody on the defensive line for a very long time. I think since 2000.
Yeah.
Of course, we're talking about somebody that we talked about yesterday, highly of Kalijah Cansey. He ran a 4.67 40. Which is the fastest of a defensive lineman since the year 2000. There's been a lot of comparison between Aaron Donald, who didn't do too bad himself in this area. He also ran a 4.68 40. But Cansey, because he's terrible.
Compared to Cansey, that's slow.
Yeah. And but these two gentlemen, people are comparing them together, and obviously it's easy to do when they wore the same colors in college. It's a fun thing to do. But you know what? Watch Cansey. He's going to be a big time player in the NFL. He's a first rounder, in my opinion, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
A couple other notes, Mike. Let's see. Aaron Donald. Okay. Cansey is 6'1", 281.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Donald is 6 foot 285. So, I mean, these guys, or he was 6 foot 285 at the combine. These guys are pretty similar in style. And like I'd said, and the other guys, Mike, of course, that were participating yesterday was Baldonado, who's the defensive end for Pitt. He's a 6'4", 251. And his arms are 33. His hands are 10.5. His 40 time was 4.78. 10-yard split was 1.67. He has a 35-inch vertical, 10-foot broad jump, and a 4.44 shuttle.
Yeah, so you got some powerful legs there.
Yes. These Pitt defensive guys, man, they're no joke. Dennis Cervaka Dennis obviously is a linebacker who didn't participate very much. He did get measured up. He is a 6 foot 226 linebacker, has 32 and 7/8 arms, and his hands are 10 and 5/8 inches. So we'll see him more along, like what Mike was saying,
hands
with the bench pressing, things like that. You'll be able to see these guys. However, like I said, Brandon Hill takes the stage today. We do not have any other kickers or special teamers. Tomorrow will be the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and tight ends. And we will have nobody involved in that. But Sunday for Pitt,
Parker Washington
in the offensive line and the running backs. On Sunday, we have Carter Warren from the line, and we also have big time running back Izzy Abanikanda. So throughout the weekend, we do have a lot going on here. If you want to watch the combine, again, it's 3:00 today, 1:00 on both Saturday and Sunday. And I think Mike wants to talk a little bit about Penn State. Go ahead, man.
Oh, no. You're saying players local from the area, Penn State's
okay.
Local.
That's where we're right now. So please continue.
No. I informed the fans. Don't worry.
Mike, are we going to do a show or are you going to play?
I'm doing a show.
Derpy. All right, let's go to turn to Derpy. We're going to talk some combine.
No, let's not. No. It's all about Mike.
Derps, what do we got for combine scoop? I think you scared Derpy.
I did not scare Derpy. I like Derpy.
If Derpy took his ball and went home, I swear to you.
You swear to me?
Pete,
I swear to you.
Well, where are you at, Derps?
Derpy, I'm here. I'm here.
Did you fall asleep, Derpy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ryan put him to sleep. Talking about Pitt players.
So here we go. Derpy has some scoop on the combine as of yesterday. He took notes, and I'm gonna hand it off to Derpy.
All right, it's just small briefings of certain players.
All right, and these are players that teams that players that Pitt or the Steelers may be interested in as far as defensive backs, linebackers, offensive line
for the first 3 rounds or first 4.
Have at it, man.
All right. So, do you want to start with the edges, or do you want to start with the linebacker, the targets?
Let's start on the line and move our way back.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the summary. There's some guys. The targets I probably think that the Steelers are looking at is obviously Cansey. From what I've seen, he's a bit undersized, very explosive, and has good production and great motive.
Very comparable to AD at that point. Again, to be what AD is, there's still a lot to accomplish. But at this point in the game, when you're looking at Cansey, you're saying, okay, there's similarities. And the team that gets Cansey, I think you're taking a gamble. I mean, you're gonna get an Aaron Donald kind of guy, or is this guy gonna, So I agree.
What I've seen this comparison is John Randall.
Oh, wow.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take John Randall.
Yeah.
So
if that's the downside of Aaron Donald, I'll take John Randall in a heartbeat.
No, not bad. 2 Hall of Famers. Yeah.
What else you got?
Dexter could be interesting from Florida.
Okay.
He ran a 4.88. I didn't really do much on him because I had a limited time of putting all this together.
Mm-hmm.
But his production, he's kind of slow off the snap for his size. But his traits really honestly carry him.
Okay.
Another guy is Zach Pickens. I don't know if you've heard from Steelers. We're looking at him in the Senior Bowl. I don't know if you knew that.
Okay.
Oh, the guy at South Carolina.
Yeah, I like him a lot. He ran a 4.89. From what I've seen, is that he's basically an athletic defender he can control the gap. First step disruptor, and he can do both rushing and run defender.
He's a big guy, 6'4", 305. He's 123 on PFF's big board.
They're basically comparing him to Maurice Hurst.
Okay.
But I'm gonna get into those are like the 3 defensive tackles that I am eyeing.
What do you like at the linebacker level, Derp?
There's 3 guys I like. There's one I didn't get to do much on this guy, but it's Toto.
Okay.
From Bama. Yeah. He ran a 4.62. I didn't really get to do a summary on him, but they're basically comparing him to Kirksey.
Okay.
Where's he at here?
Christian Kirksey. Jack Campbell, obviously. Yes, Jack Campbell. Yeah. That's the real guy.
He's the guy out of Iowa, right?
Yeah, he's the guy like that him. I think we could get like an old school linebacker, like and what's his name? Ham, I think he's kind of like that.
Like his 40 time, I think is going to shoot him up the boards because I think they were surprised that he ran how well he ran.
Yeah.
So they might have to get him in the 2nd round because he might not be there in the 3rd round now. The way that he performed at the combine.
A lot of good things I hear about him. Ever since you guys mentioned his name a few days back, and I've been reading around, and he is a classic, good Big Ten linebacker.
Yeah, like PFF grades, run defense grade is an 85.6 in college, and his coverage grade was a 92. Not bad for some guy who, for a middle linebacker who runs a 4.7. So, that's kind of what we need. Someone who can play the run and the pass. He showed potential for both.
Anybody that I'd say that could in the least resemble Ryan Shazier is what the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking for. Whether we could find that guy, but by the speed that Mike just said, that we could cover linebackers, that's what Shazier brought to the table with coverage. And he could run, cover sideline to sideline very, very, very fluently. And is there anybody out there, guys, that skill wise, speed wise, has those traits as a Ryan Shazier that you know of?
Oh,
I mean, he was a special player. No
in
two
this
ways about
draft,
that.
not really. No.
Okay.
For middle linebacker, no. There's no like standout player that's gonna
because we don't necessarily have the fastest linebacking core. You know what I mean? The outsides
linebackers are kind of they're on that smaller, thinner side.
Yeah,
and like your big bodied ones, there's no that combo that we're looking for. It's you're gonna have to be that he like Cable. He's more of a thumper than a coverage guy. And same thing like Noah Sewell, he's more of a thumper, but then everyone else is more of those speed guys, but they're not the big hitters too.
Yeah.
It's it's hard to find that Ryan Shazier guy.
Right. No, who else? Who's your other one on the linebacker list, Terp?
We lose Derpy.
Derpy's he likes to play derpy games, is what I'm discovering here. He waits till we're on the point of losing our minds. And then he hops back in and says,
I went on mute.
He went on mute. He muted. He did the classic mute.
I did do a derp there.
I like the derp games. All right. Who's your last linebacker?
I actually wanted to get to my summary about Jack real quick.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
He's a great inside linebacker, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of toughness. He's built for the box, stopping zone coverage, and he's really great at some matchups against line tight ends.
Okay, which it goes a long way.
But if he's there at 32, that's probably the guy, because you probably couldn't get him at 49.
You're right.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to get him there because there's no way he's going to last till they pick 80.
Yeah,
he's going to be
49. I think
40.
There's just the 49 in the second round.
Yeah, 49. That's where they're going to have to grab him because there's no way they're going to get him in the third.
Yeah.
What are we? We're 17, 32.
But the last guy's Trenton
49
Simpson,
third round. Okay. Yeah.
Because he's been dropping a little bit.
Simpson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got 8 minutes left. So let's knock out your last linebacker and your DB, see where we're at.
My edge? You want to do the edges?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is only in particular if we trade Highsmith, if we don't figure out his contract. Yeah. These are some guys that I potentially that the Steelers could replace Highsmith with. Obviously, the one guy I've been really heavy on because of how well he performed off his injury was Nolan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he ran with a 4.39 at the combine yesterday.
Yes, and he's gonna rise. So that's the one guy. If we do trade Highsmith, that's the one guy I instantly want because how well he performed off his injury.
Yeah, my God, and that speed off the edge. Holy moly.
They're basically comparing him to Samson and Bukum, I believe. That's how you say it, from the 49ers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would work perfectly in the 3-4.
But if we don't get him, there's another guy from Tennessee. I don't know if you know the Young. Byron Young, I believe. From Tennessee. He ran a 4.43.
Yeah.
They don't really have a comparison, but he could be a guy like at 49 or fourth round.
Yeah, he's going to be something. Yeah. He might be available later in the draft.
That's what I mean. Like he could be a guy that you could, in case Highsmith is, not figured out. I have 3 other guys from the edge.
All right.
Derek Hall from Auburn.
Yep.
Yeah. The only problem with Derek Hall is he lacks consistency, but he's explosive and long, great power rusher. He ran a 4.55.
It's not bad yet. He's projected like a 3rd round pick too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it even be bad to have someone like grab him anyway in the one of these edges in the 3rd round anyway if they're there, and it's a good value because injuries happen to Watt, and if one happens to Highsmith, you need a guy too.
They're comparing him to Carl Lawson.
Okay. That's not a bad comparison. Carl Lawson's was a productive player.
There's two other guys. Isaiah Foskey, I believe that's what it's pronounced.
Yeah, Isaiah
from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He ran a 4.58. I didn't really get to do much on him, but they're comparing him to the guy we were looking at yesterday on the line. Yannick, I believe.
Yeah.
They're comparing him to him.
One of the things I noticed too is like on his stuff, it's like he's a little inconsistent from time to time.
Yeah.
But when he's on his game, he was a dominant player.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You can probably learn a little bit of that.
Yeah.
The real edge rusher though that we should probably keep an eye on is from Iowa as well.
Ooh, I know where you're going.
Luke Van Ness.
Yes, they would have to get him in the first though.
I know.
Can you imagine going first and second pick, both guys from the Hawkeyes?
That'd be sweet.
Might as well just let them keep their uniforms.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Because
we need a tackle though, but these are some guys. If we do trade Highsmith, that we should probably heavily target.
Like I think even with Van Ness, if they draft him, they put some weight on him, he could be a 3-4 end.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Here's what we're gonna do because we are running late on time. Derpy, let's hop back to the secondary. Just read us through your names, just a brief description of your DBs, and then we're gonna be cutting out here before you know, my man.
I didn't know if you wanted to do. I don't think I have DBs because I didn't know if you want. I didn't know you wanted
okay.
DBs.
Yeah,
okay,
what
I only
did
those. I only did a brief of those, but I could probably give you targets for today, maybe.
Now you know what? I do want to tell you guys one real quick thing. I don't know if you don't see it, if you've seen it or not. Did you see that the facilities at Acrisure Stadium are like considered some of the worst in the league?
Yeah. After they spent like $16 million a few years ago upgrading.
Get this, guys. I'm going to read you the categories, the main categories. And I'm going to give you the grades real quick before we take off for the weekend. Okay. The treatment of families, whatever this means, I don't know whatever this means, but treatment of families, they got a D-. Considering that everybody on the team is related.
Yeah.
Who knows what that even means? But treatment of families, they get a D-. Okay. Food service and nutrition, a B+. The weight room, a C. Strength coaches, an A-. Training room, a D-. Training staff, a B+. Locker room, get this, guys, a D+. And team travel, a B. I just want to say real quick about this locker room, and I'm not going to dispute it because they then showed locker rooms from around the league. The Raiders looks like a casino. If you get a chance, pull these locker rooms up from these teams around the league. It's amazing. The lights are things blinking. It's something amazing to see, and maybe that's what it means to be up to date in these things. But the Steelers, they grade very low on their facilities, guys. So kind of keep your eye open on that.
The family one is kind of funny.
And considering, like I said, everybody on the team
considering our franchise, that's actually kind of funny.
In the locker room, and that's what they're talking about.
Like along that line, the Chiefs, who just won the Super Bowl, their training staff and facility F was rated F, and they said don't trust the trainers, and they just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I love these ratings; they are so.
Meanwhile, the Raiders get all these high things.
They can't win anything.
Yeah.
Mike, why don't you go tell everybody about the website, my man?
1 second, let me take a sip of water.
Mike's gonna take his lunch break real quick before he. I'm teasing.
I've been yelling all day long.
For fuck's sake!
Fuck you all! I quit. I got. Trying to hurt my ear doing that.
Come on, Walter White. No, I'm joking.
Don't make me come in here on my underwear. Two dumb users.
All right.
Oh, twodumbusers.com. Head on over there. We have links to YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Everything you need for Two Dumb Users is at twodumbusers.com.
Check us out, www.twodumbusers.com. We are live every day from Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. The show we do that particular day, for an example, the show we did today will be uploaded this evening at 8 o'clock over on Spotify. And that's every day with the show that we do. That evening, 8 o'clock, Spotify. If you don't have time to listen and you don't want to watch that day, check us out on Spotify. Mike, I'm gonna throw you a curveball, and we're gonna do a Pittsburgh Pirate trivia for the day. Pittsburgh Pirate trivia. Pittsburgh Pirates, because I know that's what everybody's talking about today, despite Bonino, Penguins winning streak, the Steelers' terrible locker room, the Columbine, Penn State, Pitt game tomorrow, XFL. We are going to talk Pirates, guys. This is the trivia of the day. Derp, you ready?
Let's get it.
All right, here we go. Which pirate won the batting title 8 times during his career? And I'm going to give you a list here. Looking for which pirate win the batting title 8 times in his career. Was it A, Honus Wagner? Was it B, Barry Bonds? Was it C, Willie Stargell? Or was it D, Paul Wainer? We're looking for the pirate who won the batting title 8 times in their career. Wagner, Bonds, Stargell, Wainer. Let's go to Derpy first.
I don't know much about the Pirates, but that's actually a tough for me. But
it's a tough one.
You may know this, Mike, but I certainly don't. But I'm gonna guess just because of the type of ball player. I don't even know if it was invented back then, but Wagner.
Honus Wagner. Interesting.
That's who I was gonna guess. Honus Wagner.
Mike, and you're going with Honus Wagner as well?
Yeah.
Gutsy.
I know.
All right. So the question of the day, guys, before we break off into the weekend, which Pittsburgh Pirate won the batting title 8 times during his career? Was it Honus Wagner, Barry Bonds, Willie Stargell, or Paul Wainer? Both Derpy and Big Sexy says it is Honus Wagner. And you know one thing I learned, guys? When all else fails in a Pirates trivia question, always answer Honus Wagner, because yes, you're right. It's always right. The answer is always Honus Wagner when it comes to the Pirates. You learned something today. Big Mike, what do you got before we go for get away for the weekend, my man?
Ron Hextall has destroyed the Pittsburgh Penguins in my will to live.
All right. Derpy.
I have 2 things to close out.
Please.
Some may know these quotes, some may not.
Okay.
Well, at least the first one's a quote. It refers to Chuck Noll.
All right.
Always remember, we aren't America's team. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Love it.
And secondly, we're still the only franchise that didn't cheat to win six rings. So yeah, there you go.
I love it. Derpy always pulls up the good stuff. Hey, everybody, a lot of big things going on this weekend sports-wise. Please do check it out, because we'll be back first thing Monday morning again, and we'll be talking about all this stuff from the other side of the fence. So
more combine news. I'm pumped.
Yes.
Everybody, have a great weekend. Be safe. Enjoy sports. Enjoy your Pittsburgh sports. From Derp, Ryan.